So I'm gonna ask you like on every sector of AI and give me an example how people can use it. As a parent, like how do you use AI?
Yeah, that's a good one. So, for example, I can create like little stories for my daughters to read uh, about whatever subject that they want. I can mix in their backgrounds. I'm from Brazil. We can introduce some things, some spices from Brazil, or some stories about some festivals or whatever, and we can say, hey, create this two paragraph story that begins like this, and it tells you that teaches this story or this moral value, and it will just produce this something that you could never write it like from like out of the top of your head or research it on Google and put it together, right? You can put it together information like that, like given the right ingredients. Just like we're gonna talk a lot more about that, right? Given the right ingredients, it can use all that knowledge to produce something. So I've used it in that way to like generate cartoons because we needed some cartoons to be made or to just spark their imagination or things like that, and or to explain something, right? To explain something like that they would understand. Like sometimes they explain the definition of something or some concept. You can ask ChatGPT to say, hey, explain such and such as a 7-year old. And then it would give you down like using that language for them.
Wonderful. So parents can use it this way. What about someone who is a data analyst like me? How can I use AI? Like I'm super new into data analytics and I'm just a beginner right now, started my
Just
career.
beginner.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you're in the beginner of anything, right? So as a student of anything of data analytics or whatever, is a great learning tool. Is one of the best learning tools I would say out there, because as you study, I mean not learning tool but aid, as you're learning whatever, you can ask questions, and based on your previous knowledge, because it knows you and knows what you know, or you can ask them questions that it will give you the answer, like it won't think twice, right? You can ask straight up questions, and you can, oh, but how does that relate to whatever, and so you can, it will produce something, right? So you can like have, you can like drill into it, like something probably that you couldn't do to a music teacher, like, you know, can I ask my music teacher like what is the famous chord progressions that are being have been using nowadays from the last songs from the last year? Probably that song that teacher would not know, but maybe AI could have known. But something like more complicated that a human could know. So you have that ability to ask that type of stuff. So that's really game changing in terms of education. Like you can really like ask for examples, ask for samples, like in terms of learning, right? Like any student can learn about whatever